dad calling. He's probably going to want to talk about work. Can't this wait until I'm in the office? Doesn't he know that my personal time is for me? Click ignore. Yeah, this really happens sometimes. And I'm sorry to say, it's not just when I'm at dinner with my wife or hanging out with my friends. Sometimes I'm just sitting on the couch or driving in my car. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this remind you of anything in your life? Anyone you're click ignoring? My father is an absolute superhero. He started in the life insurance business in the 1970s, made less than $6,000 in commissions his first year, but he persevered. Over his career, he's accounted for tens of millions of premiums in life insurance policies. You would think a successful businessman like this could end up sacrificing his family time. Not my dad. My dad was at every single one of my basketball games. He was at home for dinner nearly every night, even if he had to go back to work. Every year, my family adventured out on some exciting vacation together. When I graduated from college, there was a position waiting for me in the business, and I love it. I love working with my dad. Every day I get to talk to him. He's a baby boomer. You boomers in the room know what that means. Hard work, long hours, weekends. That's how you get ahead in life, is by putting in the time. I'm okay with that. Especially when it's client-based, we have a big presentation coming up, or a seminar we're preparing for, or perhaps even some strategic thinking for the business. Sometimes he just wants to call to kick around a few ideas. Sometimes he just wants to call to ask about a project he asked me to do that we're not even sure we'll ever use. Invariably, he's going to start loquaciously chewing my ear off about the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1970s. And I've heard every one of those stories before. Click ignore. On the man who was always there for me. On the man who created a business that literally pays my cell phone bill. Of course, click ignore doesn't just apply to my dad. In fact, I found that click ignore doesn't even always apply to my phone. When I was first married, Rebecca and I had many arguments getting used to each other, but the one that stands out most was cleaning up the backyard. We have 3 dogs, our little babies, and a glorious big backyard where they can run and play and do their business. Rebecca wants me to clean it up every weekend. I hate it. Why do I have to spend my weekends cleaning up the backyard, diffusing doggy bombs? Do I really need to be doing that? It used to be I would look out at the backyard, click ignore. Next weekend, it's still okay. I'll get to it the weekend after this. Click ignore. Is it really that bad yet? Click ignore. Jeremy, can you please just clean up the backyard? It's disgusting out there! Oh my goodness. This was a symptom of many little things. Dishes in the sink. Click ignore. Making sure all the trash cans got emptied on trash night. Click ignore. Luckily, I've gotten a little better about ignoring my impulse to click ignore. Which is why, if you stop by my house some weekend, you might see me doing my version of the dirty bird, holding the claw in one hand and the scoop in the other, and doing my little dance to avoid the squishy step. My Aunt Katie has a problem with click ignore too. Her problem is not that she's clicking. She's a very happy woman with a quick laugh, loquacious and interesting and fun to be around. You'd never know that she's carrying around a lot of sadness. Her first marriage was not a happy one. When it ended in divorce, her husband convinced the kids that it was all her fault. And for years, none of them would talk to her. Her son has still not spoken to her since the divorce. For him, she's on permanent click ignore. His wedding day, click. His kids were born, click, click, click. She doesn't like to talk about it too much. She'd rather focus on her relationships with her daughters, who have finally welcomed her back into her life. My friends, who are you click ignoring? What moments are you missing every time you click that button? Are you perhaps taking someone for granted? Are you annoying a loved one? Are you inflicting lasting pain? The next time your phone rings, what will you do? Hey, Dad. What's up? Mr. Toastmaster.